Presiding Officer, I too wish to add my congratulations to Bill Butler in securing this debate today, and indeed Drumchapel Table Tennis Club on their 20th anniversary and the tremendous success they've had over many years. I perhaps may wish to start somewhat on a sour note, because I do actually wish to take issue in particular with Bill Butler for his comments about the performance of the parliamentary team. I have to say, if I didn't have a dodgy shoulder and hadn't kind of hurt my leg a couple of days ago, I'm sure that I would have been able to deliver that decisive victory on behalf of my colleagues here in the Scottish Parliament. And I consider what happened this afternoon but a tactical setback rather than a humiliation which Bill Aitken referred to earlier on. I have to say, in actual fact, that one of the things that Mr McLaren actually mentioned, because Terry McLaren clearly is the real driving force behind this club, and what he said to me was, and it's almost so obvious that it's probably escaped some of us, that table tennis is a fantastic sport for Scotland because it can be played in all weathers, because it is an indoor and indeed inexpensive sport. And one wonders why, in fact, more people don't actually play table tennis. And I'm pretty sure with modest support, whether it be from Scottish Government or local authorities and indeed many other agencies, I think that table tennis should and could take off a lot more in Scotland than it certainly has in recent years. But of course it is a growing sport, and in North Ayrshire there are a number of clubs in Beith and Dorey, and in my own two sons I took to a club in West Kilbride just a few short weeks ago. So it is something I hope that they will develop and continue for the future, and we've already heard some of the reasons why. It's tremendous. It gives a tremendous opportunity for young people to engage with each other and with adults in a very positive way in terms of health, in terms of lifestyle. And one of the things that Frank McAveety touched on was the intrinsic value of sport, and I think that's a very important thing to actually take forward. Sport has a value in itself, and it's not just something to be done for other reasons. I think what's also great about Mr McLaren and the work he's actually done is the way he's been able to encourage other organisations such as Drumchapel Life, Skyform and of course Glasgow City Council and Strathclyde Police to get behind this club. And I think that kind of multi-agency, kind of cooperative approach is what we're actually looking for when we actually look at trying to encourage so many clubs. And if we are thinking about table tennis, as we saw today in room M1.22, you can fit a table tennis table almost into one small corner. Now, my two assistants, James Stewart from Millport and Katie Tanner, who comes from California, both had a go, and Katie actually did pretty well, I have to say. But then she did explain that she does have a table tennis table in her own house. So I think that was a wee bit, that was somewhat cheating compared to the rest of us, but she did California no harm in terms of her effort. But I think, although the Drumchapel Table Tennis Club went easy on us, I think it shows that they are really serious about their sport, and they don't just want to participate, they do want to bring back some glory to themselves, their club, and to Glasgow and Scotland. And I would like to wish them all the best for the future. I think they're a tremendous asset to Drumchapel and to Glasgow, and the kind of organisation we want to continue to encourage both for the future and indeed the present, because it's not just about 2014, as Mr McAveety said, it's about the here and now, and it's giving people something to actually indulge in and enjoy on a regular basis. So once again, thanks to Bill Butler for his energy and his enthusiasm in dragging us all down for this afternoon's table tennis and making this debate happen, and of course to Terry McLaren and all the young people today who are in the gallery and who did so well this afternoon.
Now ask Shona Robertson to conclude the debate. Minister.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. I'd also like to start by thanking Bill Butler and agreeing with him that there is no better example of the impact a sports club can have on its local community than that of the Drumchapel Table Tennis Club. And as already has been pointed out, any reference to the club must be made in tandem with mention of Terry McLaren, and undoubtedly the driving force behind its immense success. His tireless work to improve the lives of young people has rightly received nationwide recognition, most recently at the 2008 Sunday Mail Scottish Sports Awards, where he picked up a local hero accolade, and quite rightly so. I'm sure that we can all agree that the club can be proud of its achievements since 1989, the number of champions it's produced and its remarkable success, not just in the UK, but in European competition. However, I'm sure Terry and McLaren and other club stalwarts are most proud of the impact that it's had on local kids. As the motion alludes to, Drumchapel Table Tennis Club is to be applauded for the work that it does to promote healthy lifestyles, tackle antisocial behaviour in a supportive and positive way, and help youngsters fulfil their potential in an area once associated with social problems and economic hardship. And this is a real success story. And I understand that the school's programme, which began in 2006 with 6 local primary schools and 300 children, now consists of over a dozen primary schools as well as a local high school and can boast over 800 participants. The value and potential life-changing aspect of such a programme can't be underestimated, and the club, along with its equally important partner organisations, deserves national recognition. And I'd like again to add my admiration to that already expressed here today, and I would be happy and delighted to take up the offer of a visit to the club and see the good work for myself. I'd also like to address the final part of the motion, that the role and impact of sports clubs and how government, Sports Scotland and local authorities can facilitate the support of sports at the grassroots level. And we recognise very much the valuable and important role that local sports clubs play in both galvanising a community and developing the sporting potential of tomorrow. We are fortunate in Scotland to have an army of volunteers and coaches who tirelessly dedicate their time and energy to help develop sporting talent and impart their skills, experience and passion at the same time, the giving something back that both Bill Butler and Frank McAvity referred to. And it's only right that we both build on this talent and expertise while supporting and recognising their valuable contribution. And that's why the National Strategy for Sport Reaching Higher will provide a renewed focus on investing in club development and improving coach education and providing a wide range of sporting opportunities from an early age, and the access issue that Frank McAvity also referred to, and providing additional support to parents, teachers, coaches and volunteers, and strengthening the links with local authorities and leisure trusts and governing bodies of sport through the sharing of resources, knowledge and expertise. The implementation and ultimate success of Reaching Higher is naturally dependent on Scottish Government, local authorities, key agencies such as Sports Scotland and other partners fulfilling specific roles. Sports Scotland recognises that sports clubs and community opportunities are absolutely vital to providing a full and diverse range of sporting opportunities. There has to be something for everyone, and their community regeneration programme strengthens the impact local authorities have in supporting clubs. And this focused investment, coupled with strong relationships with those local partners, directly supports the development of clubs and sporting opportunities in Scotland's most deprived communities, where opportunities are fewer. Glasgow City Council provides an excellent example of how community regeneration funds can be used to build capacity in local clubs. Their project aims to target 50 voluntary sports clubs and community organisations that promote partnerships and provide programmes that support sports participation and opportunities. And the principal aim is to build capacity within organisations so that increased sustained opportunities are created for children and young people to take part in sport within their local community at an affordable cost. And to realise the potential of sport, all local authorities and community planning partnerships will want to consider developing local sporting outcomes, indicators and actions which will have the greatest impact on local communities and which will ultimately contribute to the Scottish Government's national performance framework. And finally, I want to touch on the issue that Frank McAvity raised about 2014 and the sporting legacy emerging from those games, which will focus on building an infrastructure for sport at a local level and implementing a network of community sports hubs across Scotland. And while a number of local authorities have established community sports clubs in their areas, community sports hubs is a new, fresh idea that builds on existing good practice and maximises the use of existing resources in new ways and gives impetus and momentum by the staging of the Games in Glasgow. But Frank McAvity is absolutely right. The Games will be the Games for 11 days. It's what we do in advance of those Games and what we do after to galvanise the talent in Scotland, to encourage young people into physical activity and sport that's really going to be the legacy that we want to leave behind. And the approach I think that we're taking will ensure that we can replicate the success achieved at clubs like the Drumchapel Table Tennis Club by building stronger community clubs, increasing opportunities for participation in sport across all ages and all abilities and ambitions. So to finish, I think it's only right that Parliament takes the time to acknowledge and highlight the sometimes unsung work that a great many people, organisations, and in this instance a very important sports club, undertake in communities across Scotland. And there are many more clubs out there which do sterling work across Scotland. And I therefore like to thank Bill Butler for tabling the motion. It gives us an opportunity to recognise the valuable work of Drumchapel Table Tennis Club. It is a shining example. I do hope you do keep up the good work, and I very much look forward to visiting you and seeing more of that good work. So best of luck in the future. Thank you.
I now close this meeting of Parliament.